Official steps in. That'll be Fossman, Nash, and Swinton are the officials tonight. And the tap is controlled by the Wolves. Miller will come out. He handles the ball a lot for the Wolves out at the top. Loftus goes to left-hand side. Nothing going, however. Hammer stops, gives up his dribble. And now there's going to be a travel on it right away here. A lot of pressure being applied by the Glacier Bears, and Hammer turns the basketball over, moving his feet. Just beginning first quarter action. Comes back down, over to Davis, left-hand side. Groves playing that 2-3 zone defense, over to Davis, comes back. Shots on the way by Clay, a little bit short on it. Rebound comes back down to the Wolves, and looks like Miller's going to handle the basketball. Glacier Bears man-to-man defense. That's what they usually play. Loftus all the way inside to Blatchley. He's deep in the corner. Can't forces up the shot. Doesn't go. Rebound fought for. Finally comes down. Abrahamson comes away with it. Gets the ball back out to Blatchley. Kicks the ball back over to Hammer. He has the baseline. Stops. Wants to put up the shot. Goes to Loftus. Up a little bit short. Rebound out to Aberson. Up and in. Nice board that time as he had his man blocked out. Did a good job in getting it blocked out and was able to easily get the bucket. Over to Davis on the dribble. He loses it, however, and Miller comes up with it, looking down the court, changed his mind, tries to go between two Glacier Bears. Wasn't able to get it, however. And they come back out. Looks like it's going to be Wrangell over right in front of the Glacier Bear basket, or Glacier Bear bench. Comes over to Blatchley on the dribble. Faherty comes out, puts some pressure on. Blatchley still keeps his dribble. Goes down the center of the lane, kicks the ball back out to Loftus. All the way over in that deep hand corner is Abramson. He goes back into Blatchley. Turn, spin move. He likes that move. Jumper in about 6, a little bit short. Rebound down to Davis. Davis gets the ball back quickly up the court to Faherty. Faherty looks inside. 2 Glacier Bears breaking down the lane. He doesn't see him. Back to Davis. Long 3 on the way. In and out. No. Rebound. Bounces around. Loftus comes away with it for the Wolves. He looks up court. Can't find anybody, however. And now he'll go to the right-hand side. Davis puts a little pressure on Abrahamson. Nothing going, however. And they come back around to Miller. Miller looks, holds the ball high, finds Blatchley down low. Wants that jumper again. This one is a bit short again. Abramson comes away. He comes with it up and a little bit short. Rebound down the Hammer, too strong. Loftus comes away with it, and he's fouled on the shot. I think about 4, maybe 5 offensive rebounds there by the Wolves on that one. Finally got the foul and able to go to the free throw line is Loftus. Man, the Wolves had plenty of chances. Blatchley's been down low a couple times on that block on the left-hand side, but they're kind of double-teaming him down low as Burham drops back down there and puts a double team on him, and he'll just need to find the open man, and that actually has been Abrahamson, and he's got those first 2 points, but just not able to find him this time. Okay, that was a 30-second timeout, so quickly out come the Glacier Bears. And they'll set up for the free throw. Now the Wolves will step out. And they'll hustle out on the court. Just beginning first quarter action here. 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Loftus at the free throw line had 8 points last night. Didn't get to the free throw line at all. This one's on its way. Looks good and is. He picks up his first point from the free throw line. He'll get a second. Shot's up on its way. This one looks good. Nothing but net on it, so he's got his first 2 points of the ball game coming by the free throw line. Wrangell steps out, puts a little pressure on Krager. Krager gets the ball over to Davis. His hands on the dribble. He goes right-hand side to Clay. Back to Davis. Penetrates inside to Krager. Three-pointer on the way. A little bit strong. Rebound down nicely by Verham. He gets it back out over to Krager. Wants the baseline. Stops. Puts up the shot a little short. Ball bounces around. Ends up in the hands of Miller. So Miller comes away with that rebound. Looking inside. Nothing going here. Blatchley comes across the lane. Miller just backs it out. All the way across to Loftus. Loftus takes a couple of dribbles. Over to Hammer. Just kind of playing reverse ball out at the top of the key. Back out to Blatchley. Wanted the lane. Good defense that hour. Miller comes back down inside. Finding Abrahamson up and in. So Brett picks up his 4 points in the basketball game. That was a nice pass by Miller there. So he recognized he was wide open. Took the easiest shot, which was basically a lay-in out of it. Over to Davis. Davis on the dribble. 6-0 is the score. Wrangell with the lead, but the Glacier Bears have it. Back to Faverty. They surround him. Now he tries to make a move inside. Wants to go up with the shot. Back to Krager. 3's on the way, and he's got it. Carson Krager picks up 3 points for the Glacier Bears. So they're double teaming Faverty, and Krager was able to get himself open and bury the 3. Comes out to Miller. Miller has a lot of pressure on him. Kicks the ball back out to Abrahamson. Davis puts some pressure on. Comes back around. Bounces around. Ball still finally controlled by Davis. Davis looks down the court to Faverty. Stops. Goes straight up for the shot. A little bit short. Rebound comes down in the hands of Miller. 4 minutes to go. Long down court pass to Abrahamson. Back out to Loftus. 3-pointer on the way. A little bit too strong. Who's going to come away with it? Miller, or looks like Davis does. Back to Krager. Krager's going all the way to the hoop. Up and in. Carson Krager has 5 points. All the points. 5-6 is the score now. Wrangell with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Back out to Miller. Over to Loftus. Loftus, nobody picked him up. He lays it up and in. Defensive lapse that time by the Glacier Bears. Nobody was around Loftus. That's the easiest lay-in he's going to have in the ball game, I'm sure. Back to Krager. Back over left-hand side to Davis. Davis tries to go inside. Knocked away, though, however, as he tried to go to Faverty. Wolves come up with it. Miller goes over to Hammer. Hammer down the lane, up and in. Jacob Hammer, nice again read by Miller as he saw Hammer coming across. Nobody was there. Gave him the nice pass. One dribble, and he had the lay-in. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Goes right-hand side to Clay. All the way across to Faverty. Long, long 3. And it's good. J.B. Faverty picks up 3. He was at least 5-6 feet behind the 3-point arc on that one. 2-point lead by the Wolves now. Loftus comes down. Hammer all alone underneath. They just couldn't see him in time. Blatchley backs his man down. Comes back outside to Miller. Miller's being guarded by Krager down low. Now they'll come back out, set it at the top. Abrahamson to the top. Davis puts some pressure on him. 2:30 to go here in the third quarter. Alley-oop inside to Miller. Miller gives Krager a little head fake, but he doesn't take it. Back out to Krager looking inside. Miller breaks inside. Jumper in about 6. Rolls around, doesn't go. Rebound down nicely by Verham for the Glacier Bears. And they can take the lead or tie the ball game here. Krager comes down, goes to the right-hand side, almost knocked away back, but however, Krager comes up with it. They'll go over to Davis. Davis looks inside. Nothing going as Faverty came across the lane, wasn't able to get the ball to him, however. Davis will take the left-handed dribble. Good defense by the Wolves. They don't give him that lane. Back out to Krager. 1:55 to go here. They try to go back inside. Ends up in the hands of Verham. He misses, gets his own board back, and a whistle on it. Foul's going to be on Blatchley on it, and that'll be his first personal foul. Bumped him with the body. Wesley Verham at the free throw line had 2 points in the ball game last. 0 for 2 from the free throw line, so he'll get a chance here. This one's on its way. A little bit too strong off the back of the iron. Substitution. Strong comes into the game. Looks like also we're going to have checking into the ball game will be number 20 for the Wolves. That'll be Buchland Bickler. He comes into the ball game, and also looks like Kai Dixon's coming in for the Glacier Bears. Second shot's on its way. This one looks a little strong, bounces around though, and looks like Abrahamson comes up with it for the Wolves. And slowly up the court comes Miller. Miller looks down inside. A lot of movement by the Wolves. They come back around. Buchland Bickler takes the ball down. Davis puts a little bit of pressure on. Nothing going here as Dixon almost had that steal. Now they go back out. Blatchley way beyond the 3-point arc. Faverty spins. Spin move by Blatchley up and in. Blatchley gets his first 2 points as he had 6 from last night. Krager goes right-hand side. They'll go over to Dixon. Back out to Krager. Strong has the ball on the left-hand side. Strong makes a move down to the baseline over to Faverty. 3-pointer on the way. It's good. So Faverty picks up another one. Glacier Bears down by 1 now. 6 points for Faverty. Both those coming on threes. Hammer fires up a 3. A little bit too long. Rebound fought for. And looks like Strong came up with it out to Krager. Krager decides to hold up here. It was a 1-on-3 break, and he figured it wasn't to his advantage. Now they'll come back to Krager on the left-handed dribble. Goes over to Strong. Back out to Krager. 38 seconds to go here in this first quarter of play. Glacier Bears can take the lead. They try to go back inside. Strong. Three-pointer on the way a little bit too strong. Rebound down to Hammer. Hammer for the Wolves gives it off to Miller. 22 seconds. Miller holds up one figure, waiting for one shot here in the quarter. 17 seconds to go. Looking back to Miller. Krager puts some pressure on. Miller over on the dribble. 11 seconds to go. Latchley comes out, sets the screen. Nothing going. Miller stops. Forces up the shot a little bit too strong. Ball still going to be controlled by Dixon. Goes outside to Strong. Strong goes down. And that's going to be into the first quarter of play with the Wrangell Wolves 12 points and the Haines Glacier Bears 11. Well, we're going to turn it back to the KSTK studios for 1 minute with Wrangell leading 12-11 back in 1 minute. And welcome back to the Haines High Gymnasium here. Wrangell leading by 1, 12-11.
So shooting for Haines, 4 for 12, shooting 33%. Wrangell's 5 for 12, shooting 42%. Three-pointers are the difference for the Haines team.
Yeah, rebounding looks about equal for both teams here. Maybe Wrangell might have one, maybe more than the Glacier Bears. Glacier Bears are going to have the ball, far side of the court. Burham with the ball. He'll get the ball back into Krager. Krager handles the ball a lot at the top. Him and Davis do. Now they go into Faverty. He's surrounded again. They alley-oop inside to Burham. Up a little bit too strong. Fight for the ball. Goes out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Wolves. That's a nice move on the Glacier Bears part because they're double teaming, sometimes triple teaming Faverty. So he's got to find somebody that's open, and that's what they did. Guggenberger brings it down. Abrahamson comes inside. Over to Blatchley. Blatchley out at the top on the dribble. Wants the lane. Stop. Puts up the shot a little bit too strong. Rebound goes off of one of the Glacier Bears. Going to be Wrangell ball down underneath. Blatchley tried to move inside to get the shot off. Wasn't able to get a good one, though, however, but luckily comes back to Miller. Miller on the stop. Can't find anything. Stops. Wants the shot. Let's see if he's going to get it. Bickler, he comes outside. Nothing going. Over to Eagle. Back out to Blatchley. Fires up the shot. Partially checked. Comes back down, and ball ends up in Durham's hand. Over to Davis, over to Krager, break into the lane. The shot was a little bit too strong on the lay-in, and rebound comes back down to Blatchley. And 7 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Bickler, he wanted the shot. Verheim comes down to pressure. Nothing going, they go to Blatchley. Blatchley stops, wants to move inside to around Faverty does, puts it up a little too strong. Rebound fought for, comes back down. Now there's going to be a whistle on it. Let's see where it's going to be. The foul's going to be on 12. That'll be Blatchley. I think that one there, he was just a little upset with himself because of the shot that he took and charged through there and just wasn't able to get a good one. Looks like Loftus is coming back into the game for the Wolves. And looks like Kyle Strong came off the bench for the Glacier Bears. Glacier Bears down by 1, but they have the basketball 11-12. Looks inside, goes to Faverty. Jumper from the free throw line, a little bit too strong. Rebound comes down to Eagle. And Eagle will get the ball back into Miller's hands. He'll bring it up slowly. Come to the left-hand side. Nothing going, however. Miller goes to Loftus. Alley-oop all the way across to Blatchley. They were trying to get him underneath. He was all alone on the pass. Unfortunately, hit the bottom of the net and dropped out, so Blatchley never even had a chance to get the ball. He would have had the easy lay-in, however, it had been a good pass. He steps forward, almost makes the steal. Goes to Davis, wants the baseline. Comes back outside to Kyle Strong, but he's going to be fouled on the little bounce pass. And the foul's going to be on 24. That'll be Eagle. That'll be his first personal foul. Still that 1 point lead. Nobody's scored here in this quarter so far. Looks like we're going to make a few change outs here. Coach Fossman wants to talk to Krager and Faverty both here. Shot is on the way by Kyle Strong, and he gets his first point of the basketball game coming from the free throw line. So he's got one. Second one's on the way. This one's a little bit too strong. Rebound comes back down. Still don't have one yet. Let's see. Glacier Bears come up with it, however. And the score is tied 12-12. Back to Faverty, back to Strong. That's David Strong over to Faverty. Free throw line, baseline, good, up and in. Faverty picks up his 9th point of the ball game. That one coming from the baseline. Glacier Bears lead for the first time, 15-12, and now there's going to be a whistle on it. See where the whistle's going to come from. It looks like it's going to be on 22. That'll be Kyle Strong. That'll be his first personal foul. Wolves with the basketball. 3 team fouls on Wrangell, 2 team fouls on the Glacier Bears. Eagle comes out to Miller at the top. Blatchley sets the screen. Looking, doesn't go. Miller goes all the way hard to the hoop. Wrong. Shot was a little bit too strong. Rebound comes down to Faverty, and he goes to Krager, and now we got another whistle on it. Foul's going to be on 34. That'll be Trevor Miller. That'll be his first personal foul. 4th team foul now. Kyle Strong with the basketball. Gets the ball back inside to Krager. Krager will come down. 2-3 zone defense by the Wolves right now. Back to Davis. Davis on the left-hand side. Goes into Kyle Strong, one at the baseline. Good defense by Blatchley. Didn't give it to him, however, just stood his ground. Pass comes back out to David Strong. 5:18 to go here in the second quarter. Back to Krager all alone. Up and in is Kyle Strong, and he's got 3 points in the ball game now. Glacier Bears lead by 5. Miller out at the top with the dribble. Directing traffic. Comes out. Blatchley sets the screen. Stop. Jumper from Miller, and he's got it. Trevor Miller picks up his first 2 points of the ball game. Glacier Bears now only lead by 3. 4:45 to go here in the first half of play. Krager down the lane, stops, checked by Blatchley on the shot, and he gets the ball back and quickly off to Loftus over to Miller. Miller takes the dribble to the right end, and long 3 on the way off the back of the iron, and Krager comes away with it for the Glacier Bears. He's quick on the dribble, goes all the way down, stops, kicks the ball back out. No defense. Eagle makes the steal. Eagle is hustling down, and Davis hustles down, knocks it out of bounds. Nice hustle by Davis as he caught up to Eagle and was able to tap it out before he got the lay-in out of it. So it'll be Wrangell ball under their hoop on the right-hand side. All long cross-court pass to Loftus. Loftus wants to go down the lane and does. Steps, puts it up and in. Skyler just beat his man, and he went right to the hoop, and that's what you should do when you beat your man. That's exactly what he did. Almost makes the steal there. Off to Davis. Goes to Faverty in the center of the lane. Going to be a whistle on it. Fouls on 23, and that'll be his first personal foul. 5th team foul now on the Wolves. Coming off the bench, looks like number 15 coming in the game, Lewis. Also number 20 coming back into the game, and that'll be Glendickler. He comes back into the ball game for the Wolves. Glacier Bears lead by 1, 17-16. Long cross-court pass almost stolen away, but not, however, and Faverty ends up with the basketball back over to Davis. Davis out at the top. Glendickler comes out and bumped. Foul's going to be on number 20, Stone. He picks up his first personal foul, 6th team foul now. Comes back inside, goes out to Davis. Davis with the dribble, looks for Faverty, can't do anything with it. Davis comes back down to David Strong, over to Faverty. Over a long shot by Cade Clay, doesn't go, however, and goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Wrangell Wolf basketball. Glacier Bears are going to come some full court pressure here. Goes to Blatchley. Blatchley turns on the dribble, wants to be doubled, going to be bounced. It's going to be a kick. Goes off of one of the Glacier Bears. I'm not sure there were 2 there. They had him surrounded, went off of his foot. So the Wrangell Wolves are going to get the basketball right in front of their bench. And Miller gets the ball back inside. Nothing going, however, as Lewis will handle the ball right now for the Wolves. Comes back out to Miller. They have the ball, and they can take the lead here on a bucket. And they'll come back out. Looks like Hammer's going to check in the next opportunity. Oh, breaking all alone was Eagle. I don't think Miller saw him go across the lane. And Miller goes to the left-hand side, nothing going. Now they go to Gutenberg. He puts it up. No, a little bit too strong. Missed it. That was an easy lay in there. And he just plain old missed that one and immediately tied up. So we've got Verham coming back into the ball game again. Clay's coming out. Looks like Eagles coming out for the Wolves. And they're going to have the basketball under their hoop. 3:13 to go here in the first half. 1 point lead by the Glacier Bears. Over to Miller. Miller stops out there. He wants to give it to Blatchley. Now he does on the baseline. Faverty comes out. Blatchley makes a move across the lane. Nothing going. Gutenberg, he can't find anything with it. Stops. He wants to go down the lane. Does. Puts it up. A little bit too short. Missed the shot. Rebound comes back down. And looks like he got hit right in the mouth. And the rebound came off. I think probably Verham hit him with the elbow. But in the meantime, of course, he just made a jump really into his elbow. So we're going to tuck it over here, get things sorted out. And the foul is going to be on 20. And that'll be his second personal foul. 2:55 to go at the free throw line. Wesley Verham yet to score. Had two chances earlier on from the free throw line. This one's on its way, bounces around, falls off to the side, and coming down with the rebound, but he's going to be fouled with Blatchley. So fouls on 22. That'll be Strong. That'll be his second personal foul. Gets the ball back into Lewis. Over to Miller. Presses on by the Glacier Bears. All the way down to Lewis. Goes to Loftus. He stops. Forced up the shot. It's going to draw the foul. Foul's on 12. And that is going to be on David Strong. That'll be his first personal foul. So David has one foul there. That's going to send Skylar Loftus to the free throw line. 6 points, leading scorer for the Wolves right now. 2 for 2 from the line, can tie the ball game, and does. So he got all of that one, kind of rolled around in the net there before it fell through. He can give him the lead here, 17-17. 2:44 to go. This one in and out, no. Rebound comes back down to Kyle Strong, and he'll get the ball over to Davis's hands. Davis comes down, reverses the dribble, almost loses it, out of control, but gains it back. Goes to Strong, that's Kyle on the baseline, gets around Miller. Jumper from about 6, a little bit off. Doesn't go, Hammer comes up with it for the Wolves. 17-17, 2:21 to go here in the first half of play. There's Miller working his way down. Comes around, gets all around Bush. He gives up his dribble. All over him, comes back out to Lewis. Lewis wants to turn the corner. Comes back out, Hammer, shot, a little bit off the side of the rim. Rebound comes down to David Strong, and he gets the ball back over to the hands of Davis. Wants to go down. Blatchley steps in front and makes the steal. So Miller will bring it back down again. Comes back outside. Lewis shoots a three, and he's got it. Lewis comes off the bench and buries a three. The Wolves now lead by 3, 20-17. Davis out at the top with the dribble. Lewis goes over to try to make the steal. Now they go inside to Verham, over to Strong. Three-pointer on the way, a little bit too strong. Rebound down to Kyle Strong. He can't get it. Goes out to Davis. Davis goes down the lane, a little bit too strong off the board. Finally somebody comes up with it. Lewis does for the Wolves, and he gets it over to Miller's hands. Wolves lead by 3. 1:15 to go here in the first half. Blatchley wants the ball. Stomp, spin move, stop, puts it up. A little bit too strong. Hammer comes away with it. Kicks the ball back into Lewis. Going to be a foul on it as it was on the floor. Lewis made a nice move to the hoop. Fouls on 22 White. Kyle Strong, that'll be his third personal foul, so I suspect he's probably going to come back out of the game. Eagle checks in, and looks like Davis is coming out. Also coming into the ball game will be Clay. Strong will come out. Krager checks back into the ball game. 1 minute, 6 seconds to go. First half of play. Wrangell leads by 3. Goes to Miller. As the baseline, a little bit short on the shot. Abrahamson comes away with it, can't get it. And looks like coming down with it is Clay for the Glacier Bears. Gets over to Krager. Goes to Faverty at the baseline. Good defense by the Wolves. They didn't give it up. Back out to Krager, right-hand side to Clay. Nothing going. Back to Krager. Looks for Faverty down in. They double team him. And Strong turns, moves over, and shot by Clay's on the way. It's a little short. Rebound ends up in the hands of Blatchley. Kind of a surprise. It just bounced off of one of the players and right into his hands. They'll go left-hand side. 30 seconds left in the first half. Out to Lewis. Over to Miller. Miller looks down inside. Can't find anybody. Now he'll take the dribble. Comes back out to Lewis. Abrahamson almost loses it, but gains control back. Over to Miller. We're at the half-court line right now. 14 seconds to go. Miller comes around the right-hand side, looking. Blatchley wide open coming across the lane. All right. And we called timeout here. I'm not sure which team actually called the timeout, but
I think that was Wrangell. They're going to go for one shot.
I think Wrangell anyway. They're going to go. They have 8.5 seconds, so we're going to turn it back to the KSTK studios for about 45 seconds here, and we'll be right back for the last 8.5 seconds of the half. Welcome back to the Haines High School Gymnasium. 8.5 seconds to go in this first half. Wrangell leads by 3, 20-17. Coach called a timeout here to get a play here with 8.5 seconds. They're going to inbound the ball far right-hand corner. And Abrahamson gets it back into Blatchley. Goes over to that. They come back out to Blatchley through his hands into the hands of Krager. Krager's going to have a chance. Three-pointer on the way, and it's good. Carson Krager picks up his 8th point of the ball game and ties the ball game at 20 each. The play was all set up to go, but a couple of things happened and the Wrangell Wolves weren't able to get it completed. And then with 3 seconds to go, Krager came down, threw up kind of a wild shot, but it still counted. It went through the hoop, so that's all it's going to count. Well, we're going to turn it back to the KSTK studios for about 9.5 minutes. We'll be back here with Wrangell 20, Haines 20, back in 9.5 minutes.
Even, huh? Pretty close. Tyler Squaw, he didn't play last year, did he? Tyler Squaw, did he play last year?
Welcome back to the Haines High School Gymnasium here. Second half action, 20-20 is the score, and we're just getting ready to go here. Both teams are around their coaches anyways. Shooting percentages for the first half of play, well, 29% from the field for the Glacier Bears at 7 for 24, and the Wolves put up only 26 shots. They got 8 of those goes for 30%, so that probably explains why we have such a tied score here. Everything seems to be close. Rebounding is pretty close too.
Turnovers haven't been a factor.
No.
Yeah, hustle ball the whole game.
Glacier Bears will have the basketball to start this second half action. Krager out at the top. Wolves out with the same starters they started the basketball game with. Glacier Bears, same thing for them. They go into Verham, up and in. Oh, rolls around, doesn't go, but he gets his own rebound back, puts it up too strong. Miller comes away with it. Well, that was a nice play by the Glacier Bears coming out of that to halftime, as they had that easy lay-in, but Verham just couldn't get it to go. Miller out at the top now, 7:34 to go here, third quarter of play. Comes out, screen set. Over to Miller, he's still in the dribble. The alley-oop inside, Loftus all alone, up and in. Left him all alone. Took a while for Miller to recognize it, but Loftus over there jumping up and down, waving his arm. Finally, Miller saw him and gave him the bucket, or the easy bucket out of it. Goes over to Davis, back in to Faverty, 2-pointer, 3-pointer on the way, a little bit too strong. Faverty runs it down. Davis now will try the three. He comes off the front of the end. Burham comes away with it. We're on the floor, still nobody controlling it. Finally coming up with it is Loftus. Loftus goes across to Abrahamson. He lays it up and in. Nice break that time by the Wrangell Wolves, as it was a 2-on-1 break, and they got the easy bucket. All right, we're back out again here. Coming down the court is Krager. Wrangell has a 4-point lead now, 24-20. Davis with the basketball out at the top, goes left-hand side to Krager. Burham comes across, almost knocked out of inside, is knocked out, but then it goes out of bounds, so it's going to be Glacier Bear basketball. And we got a quick little 30-second timeout by Coach Fossman here. So I think he probably recognized the fact that they've got that easy break on it here, and actually they had a second one going there, but so he's going to have to get somebody back, make sure they understand they need to get back, because Wrangell will push the basketball. Miller's very good about finding the open man when they're breaking down, filling the lanes, and so Wrangell will push the ball up. So the Glacier Bears are going to have to make an adjustment there for sure. 24-20, third quarter action. Okay, back out on the court, ready for play. Going to be Glacier Bear basketball, far side of the court. Over by the pep band. Burham gets it back into Krager. Krager will run the offense now out at the top. Finds Davis left-hand side. Faverty breaks down the lane, but they're recognizing that he likes that shot from the free throw line, so they're not going to give it to him. Comes over to the side, going to be tied up, going to be a jump ball as they tie up Strong, who checked into the ball game. Now looks like Dixon's coming into the game. Strong's coming back out of the ball game. Dixon's in there, little full court pressure. Not a lot of pressure by the Glacier Bears, however, as Loftus easily brings it up across the half court line. Now they'll go to Miller. Miller comes over here on the dribble, comes back out. Abrahamson down the center of the lane, stops, kicks the ball back, knocked out of his hand, ends up in the hands of Krager. Krager's on the dribble looking for Faverty, kicks the ball to Davis, over to Faverty, 3-pointer on the way, in and out, no, rebound down to Miller for the Wolves, and he'll bring it up across the half-court line. Waves everybody off, there's Krager. Blatchley will come out, Miller goes around him, stops, wants the shot. Going to be a travel as he made a hard move down the baseline, was cut off nicely by the Glacier Bears, but ended up dragging his pivot foot.
Got two turnovers by the Wolves, but the Glacier Bears haven't been able to capitalize on that.
Not yet. All right, back to Faverty at the free throw line. Dixon, 3-pointer on the way, off the glass, and good. Ty Dixon picks up a three off the side of the glass and up and in. Glacier Bears down by one. Wrangell has it. Back to Blatchley. Stops. Jumper about 6, and he's got it. Riley Blatchley gets high in the air, and that's only his 4th point of the basketball game. He had 6 last night. Krager comes down inside. Going to be a foul. Let's see who it's going to be on here. It's on 45. So that being the case, Abrahamson will pick up his first personal foul, first team foul on the Wolves. Comes over to Krager, back out to the top. Dixon over to Krager. Krager out the top, just moving back and forth in that 2-3 zone defense that they kind of move around. Actually, it sags about. It's not always a 2-3 as they adjust to whoever's there. Burheim going down the lane, up and in. Wesley Burham got the nice bucket as he got a nice feed underneath right down the center of the lane, got the hoop to go, and laid it up and in, and he'll be at the free throw line for one. Fouls on Hammer. That's his first personal foul, so being a little more careful tonight than he was last night. Wesley's shot on the way off the side. No, rebound down to Blatchley. Knocked out of his hands, however, as Wesley's having trouble from the free throw line as he is 0 for 4 from there. Looking, tries to get it back in. Now they do it over to Loftus. Loftus on the dribble. He's coming down, pushing it hard. Stops, goes all the way up and in. Nobody stopped him, and he got the easy bucket out of it, and he has 11. That's kind of a thing. You always have to stop the man with the ball. Krager forces up the shot, doesn't go. Rebound down to Miller for the Wolves, and they have the basketball and a 3-point lead at 4:31 to go here. Miller wanted the shot, goes off to Blatchley though. Blatchley comes down, knocked out of his hands, and we're on the floor. Going to be a tie-up. And the ball's going to go to the Glacier Bears on it. Right here inbound, right in front of the Wrangell bench. 4:21 to go here in the third quarter. 3-point lead by the Wolves. The Glacier Bears have the basketball. Goes over to Davis. Davis takes the dribble on the baseline. Stops, wants to go up, puts up the shot. Up and in. Mark Davis gets his first 2 points of the basketball game. Only a 1-point lead now. Over to Loftus. He moves inside, goes around. Not going, going to be a whistle on it. Foul's going to be on 31. That'll be Wesley Verham, and that'll be his second personal foul. That'll send Skylar Loftus to the free throw line. 11 points in the ball game, and he missed the first chance from there. He'll get a second, however. Wrangell leads by 1, 27-28. Shots on its way off the side. Nope, can't get either one of them to go. Rebound down to Faverty for the Glacier Bears. Over to Davis. Davis will handle the ball out at the top. Goes to Krager on the left-hand side. Faverty at the free throw line extended. Can't do anything with it. Now back to Davis. Davis over to Krager. Krager turns, wants to go to the hoop. Goes to Verheim. A little bit short on the shot. Going to be a whistle on it. See where the foul's going to be here as they come inside. Reds on 44. That'll be Hammer, his second personal foul. What they're doing is they're drawing the defense to Faverty or Krager, and Verheim sneaks down low for the easy bucket. So Glacier Bears doing the right thing when they double team. Now there's another. Files on 31. That's going to be on Verheim. That'll be his third personal foul. That's going to send Eagle into the ball game. Looks like Hammer's going to take a seat, so Eagle checks into the ball game for the Wolves on that opportunity. Ball comes inside to Blatchley. Blatchley gets the ball back over to the far side to Loftus. Loftus wants to go inside. Ball's up and in. So Loftus picks up another hoop, and he's got 13 points. Now the lead's back to 3 again. Faverty deep in that right-hand corner. He's double-teamed. Stepping in front is Abramson. Goes over to Miller. Miller on the dribble. Can't find anybody. Stops. Jumper from about 6, and he's got it. Trevor Miller just waited till the defense dropped back. Nobody was there, and he put it up and in. 5-point lead by the Wolves right now. 3:10 to go here in the third quarter. Coach Fossman wants a timeout here to get things slowed down a little bit. It is going to be a full timeout, so we're going to turn it back to the KSTK studios for 1 minute with Wrangell 32, Haines 27, back in 1 minute. Welcome back to Glacier Bear basketball here. Quickly out on the court, both teams now. Glacier Bears with the basketball right in front of their bench. Verham will get the ball back in. He does to Krager. Krager takes the left-hand dribble, reverses it back over to Dixon. Back to Krager, over to Davis. Davis looks for Faverty on that baseline shot. They're not going to give it to him this time. They recognize that he likes that one. Krager breaks down the lane, wants to go inside to Verham. Back out to Krager. Quick move inside. Stops. Jumper in about 6. Going to be 2 shots. Foul's going to be on 24. And that'll be Eagle. That'll be his second personal foul. That'll send Carson Krager to the free throw line. 8 points in the game. Has yet to go there. Not many shots. So far, only 6 free throws for the Glacier Bears. And unfortunately, they've only made 1.
First one's good.
Now he gets one, though. So there's another one there, and he picks up his third point of the ball game, or excuse me, his third point of the ball game. This one's on its way. It is also good. So Krager picks up 2 from the free throw line, and he's got 10 points in the game. All right, back to Miller. 32-29 is the score. 2:40 to go in the third quarter. Over to Eagle. Comes back out to Miller. Over to Loftus. Eagle breaking across the lane. Blatchley wants to go down the center. Over to Loftus. Quick move inside. Stops. Puts up the shot. And he's got it. Skylar Loftus has 15 points. He only had 8 last night, so he's having a good night. Back to Krager. Over to Dixon. Back to Krager. Over to Davis. Left-hand side. Nothing going. Looking for Faverty along that baseline. Now they get it to him, but they're not going to give him that shot. They come back out to Krager. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Back to Faverty, over to Krager, down the lane, stops, jumper about 6, checked by Blatchley, however, and he comes up with a rebound too off of it. So over to Miller. Miller's on the dribble on the left-hand side. Looking. Blatchley comes out, but Miller decides to go the other way. They go to Abrahamson, stops. They want to go back into Eagle, but he's not able to control it. Goes out of bounds. That was pretty quick pass. Eagle had a hard time there. They were only about 5 feet apart, and he just couldn't get a hand up quick enough. Glacier Bears with the ball. Across the half court comes Krager. Krager takes the dribble, reverses it back, comes back out to Davis. Looks inside for Faverty, breaking across the lane. Not there. Davis almost gets the baseline, loses it out of bounds. The ball goes back to the Wolves. Looks like we're going to have a substitution quick as Dixon coming into the ball game. And Davis is going to take a quick seat. So switching things up a bit here for the Glacier Bears. Davis has been in there the whole game, so he needed to have a little bit of a break. They go back to Abrahamson. He'll take the dribble. Strong doesn't put a lot of pressure on until he gets across the half-court line. Now he does. Looking inside. Over to Loftus. Loftus goes quick. Inside back out to Eagle. Eagle's going to be called for the travel, and he's going to turn the basketball back over. Davis right back into the ball game again. 34-29 is the score. Wrangell with the lead. 1:14 to go here in the third quarter. Bouncing the ball a couple of times is Krager. He'll go right-hand side to Davis. Davis is still spin move on it. He's double teamed in the quarter. Doesn't have anywhere to go. Going to be a tie-up, and it's going to be a 5-second count. Wrangell did a nice job there, not reaching for the basketball, just keeping their hands up and their bodies planted. Davis had no place to go, and he got the 5-second count. Looking, gets the ball back into Abrahamson. He's on the dribble. He'll bring it across. Strong puts a little bit of pressure on. Now Abrahamson stops. All loses his dribble. Kicks the ball back out to Loftus. Loftus goes down the lane. Back to Blatchley. Blatchley's looking. All alone is Eagle underneath. Blatchley didn't give it to him, however. Puts up the shot. Rebound comes back down. There's a whistle on it. And the foul's going to be on Blatchley over the back. So that'll be his third personal foul. We'll see if coach is going to leave him in with 41 seconds. No, Hammer's coming off the bench real quick. They don't want Riley Blatchley to pick up his fourth foul before we even get to the fourth quarter. So 34-29, Wrangell leads. Blatchley is going to come out of the ball game with those 3 fouls and sit for just a minute or two. Krager across the half-court line. Goes inside, but that's a little bit strong. Eagle comes away with it. Abrahamson's all alone, but Miller recognizes, but it's too late. So they'll keep the dribble out at the top. And the ball goes over to the side. And now he steps on the line as he saved the basketball. Had it gone out, it would have been Wrangell ball anyway, but ball goes back to the Glacier Bears. 21 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Krager out at the top, just letting the clock run here. They're going to go down for the last shot. Wrangell leads 34-29, 10 seconds to go. Setting the screen, coming back out. Alley-oop inside, ball bounces around, ends up in the hands of Abrahamson, and now there's a foul on it. Fouls on Glacier Bears. 24, that'll be Faverty. That's only his first personal foul. So the Wolves have got to go about half of the court to get the shot off with 2 seconds to go. Hammer recognizes it, shot's on its way, a little bit too strong, goes over the top. So we're going to end this third quarter of play with the Wrangell Wolves 34, the Haines Glacier Bears 29. We'll turn it to KSTK for 1 minute. Back in 1 minute. And welcome back to the Haines High Gymnasium. Just taking a quick look at the free throw situation. Last night the Wolves were 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Tonight they are 3 for 6 from the free throw line. Glacier Bears put up 9, and they've got 4 of those to go. 4 out of 9. Now coming out of it, looks like it's going to be Wrangell basketball here as we start the start of the fourth quarter. 8 minutes of basketball to play. Wrangell leads 34-29. Ball goes into Miller. He'll take the dribble at the top. All the starters that started the basketball game are in there. They try to go back inside to Blatchley, stealed nicely by the Glacier Bears as Herheim steps up and knocks that ball loose and was able to gain control. Davis goes around the left-hand side. Back to Krager. Krager looks for Faverty, can't do anything. Krager breaks down lane, stops, puts up the shot, up and in. Carson Krager's got 12 points now. So the Glacier Bears within 3. Wrangell has the basketball. Miller out at the top. Glacier Bears really extending their defense way out. Hammer, one dribble, gives it up. Back to Abrahamson, over to Miller. Miller at the top, one dribble over the side. Gutland Dickler comes to the side, goes over to Blatchley. Blatchley in there with those 3 fouls. Jumper by Miller, a little bit short. Rebound, Abrahamson comes up with it. Going to be a foul on it as he went high in the air, was able to pull that one down for the board. Foul's going to be on number 12. That'll be Strong. That'll be his second personal foul. And that'll send Brett to the free throw line. 1 for 2 last night, has 6 points in the ball game, has not been there tonight, and he got the first one. It rolled around, covered a lot of ground before it fell through, and back to that 4-point lead now. Second one is up on its way, looks good and is, so he picks it up from there, and that's his 8th point of the basketball game. Out to Davis, 5-point lead by the Wolves. Davis gives around his man, stops, wants to put it up, changed his mind, gives it off to Krager, back to Davis. Looked at the 3, changed his mind, however, back to Larson. 3-pointer on the way by Faberty, in and out. Rebound down to Strong, over to Verham. Going to be a whistle on the play. Fouls on Hammer off of that rebound. They want to block out on that. Looks like Kyle Strong's coming into the game. Krager's going to take a quick seat here. But, Coach Angerman says you need to block out on that one because they really let him come around. Looks like we're going to have a full timeout by the Wrangell Wolves. Score is 36, Wrangell 31, Haines. We'll turn it to KSTK for 1 minute. Back in 1 minute. And both teams are back out on the court here now. It's going to be Glacier Bear basketball under their basket. Kyle Strong will put the ball in play. Finds Faverty on that right baseline. Double teamed, however, there goes back to Davis. Davis looks inside with the dribble, goes around the right-hand side. Good defense by the Wolves. They don't give him that lane. Comes across to David Strong, back out to Davis at the top of the play key. Reverse the ball back around to Faverty. He wants to go inside to Verham. They go to Strong, back to Verham up. A little bit short on the shot, missed it. Fight for the rebound, comes down and bounces it off of one of the Wolves and out of bounds. Loftus is coming into the basketball game now real quick for the Wrangell Wolves. So Loftus back into the game. 6:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. Wrangell leads, back to Faverty, wants that baseline, double teamed in the corner again. Come back out to the top is Davis, stops, kicks it back out. Three-pointer by Faverty on the way. A little bit too strong. Abrahamson comes down with it, but there's going to be a whistle on the rebound. That'll be Kyle Strong, and that'll be his fourth personal foul. And the Glacier Bears, a little bit of pressure, not a lot. They'll get the ball back into Loftus. Loftus will get it up across the half-court line. Stops, spins around, gives the ball back to Abrahamson. Screen set by Blatchley. Abrahamson goes left, goes right, wants to go down the lane. Good defense by the Glacier Bears, however. Back to Hammer, over to Miller. Miller holds the ball high over his head, gets the screen, stops. Going to put up the shot, no, changes his mind, bounces around. Miller should have put that one up as he waited too long. He wanted to go to Hammer. Davis comes down, puts it up and in. Mark Davis gets 4 points for it now. 3-point lead by the Wolves right now. Davis tries to make the steal, spins around. Miller loses control of it, going to be a foul. Fouls on Davis, that'll be his first personal foul, only the first foul for him. Krager's coming back in. Kyle Strong out of the basketball game right now. Wolves with the basketball, gets it into Miller. Miller goes to Blatchley, way beyond the three-point arc here. Faverty puts in Blatchley, jumper run about 6, too strong, rebound. Loftus comes in and he puts it up, draws the foul. I'm not sure who it's going to be. We had 2 Glacier Bears around it. It's going to be Verham. That'll be his fourth personal foul. We'll see if coach is going to leave him in here with 5:21 to go in the basketball game. Loftus at the free throw line, 15 points so far. Nope, bounces off the front of the rim, doesn't go in. 3-point lead by the Wolves here. Okay, they're not letting him in because they'd already given the ball to Schuyler. This one's on its way. It's going to be short too. So he misses 2 opportunities there for the Wolves. From the free throw line, goes left-hand side to Krager. Stops, spin move, comes back to Davis. Davis goes down the lane, jumper about 6, and he's got it. Mark Davis picks up his 6th point. We're down to a 1-point lead. Abrahamson's got the ball. He wants to go inside, goes to Hammer. Hammer puts it up, too strong. Back there's Schuyler. Loftus for the rebound, and he's got it. Nice play that time by the Wolves. Now he makes a steal as Schuyler does. Stop, kicks it up, puts it up and in. Schuyler Loftus picks up his 19th point on the steal. Back to a 5-point lead now. Faverty wants the baseline jumper, going to be a little bit short. Miller comes down with it for the Wolves, and they'll bring it across the half-court line. Comes over side to Schuyler. Loftus goes in, puts up the shot. No, that should have been a foul on that one, but they didn't call it. And now there's going to be a foul. It's going to be on 44. That'll be Hammer. Five-point lead. 1-and-1 opportunity for both teams now. Looks like Cade Clay's coming into the basketball game. Kyle Strong's coming back into the ball game. 1-and-1 opportunity for Davis. He had 2 for 2 last night. And in and out, no. Rebound down to Blatchley for the Wolves. And they'll bring it across the half-court line. Miller over to the side. Stops, kicks the ball back. There's going to be a whistle on it. Fouls on 1-1. That'll be Davis. And then we're going back to the free throw line again. Both teams in the 1-and-1 opportunity here. 4:14 to go in the ball game. Wrangell with a 5-point lead. Miller at the free throw line. Good. Nothing but net on that one. So Trevor Miller, that's only his 5th point of the ball game. He had 18 last night. So he's been dishing the ball off a little bit more, doing some nice jobs finding the open man. This one's on its way, and it's also good. Okay, he picks up his 6th point of the ball game. All right, they got things sorted out here. 4:13 to go in the basketball game. Glacier Bears down by 7 now. Krager goes right-hand side. Comes out to the top. There's Davis. Davis wants to go inside, puts up the shot from about 6, and he's got it. Mark Davis has the 8th point of the basketball game now. Comes out to the side. Miller. Miller comes around. Nothing going here as they go all the side. Miller keeps the dribble alive. Gets back out to Abrahamson. He'll come out. We're way at the half-court line right now. 3:44 goes to Blatchley. Back to Abrahamson, up and in.
That was a good give and go.
Boy, that was a nice give and go that time, as they're able to easily get that hoop out of it, and he's got 10 points of the ball game. Glacier Bears with the ball down. Over to the side was Krager, back to Davis. Davis looks inside, back to Krager, left side. 3:20 to go, and looks like Coach Bossman wants to take a timeout here. Talk it over here. It is going to be a full timeout for the Glacier Bears. So we're going to turn it back to the KSTK studios for 1 minute. Wrangell 44, Haines 37, back in 1 minute. And welcome back to Glacier Bear basketball. Glacier Bears are going to have the basketball far side of the court. Score Wrangell 44, Haines 37, 3:21 to go in the 4th quarter here. Kyle Strong gets the ball back into Krager. Krager is slowly on the dribble. Davis comes out to set the screen for Krager, looking for Faverty coming across the lane. Kyle Strong's jumping up and down. He's all alone under the hoop, but they just couldn't see him. Back to Krager. Krager wants the baseline. Stops. Trapped in the corner, back to Davis. 3-pointer on the way. It's good. Mark Davis is his 11th point. Down to a 4-point lead now. Davis has just gone wild here in the 4th quarter as he's picked up 11 points so far. There, the left-hand side is Loftus. He goes hard to the hoop, misses it throw. Rebound by Hammer, up and in. Nice follow by Hammer. Jacob just followed that missed shot, got the easy bucket out of it. 2:35 to go in the basketball game. Play out to the side. Davis comes out, sets the screen, comes inside, kicks the ball to the right-hand side to Dixon, who checked into the ball game. Back to Krager. Krager looking inside, can't find him. Now they go to Faverty. He's surrounded. Back to Krager, back to Davis. Davis takes the dribble back to Krager. He looks up at the hoop, changes his mind. Wants to go down inside. Dixon fires up the long three, and he hits it. So Dixon comes away with the 3, and he's got 6 points. He's got 2 threes. Ball's tied up. It's going to go to the Glacier Bears. 46-43. Back to Krager. Krager will get it across the half-court line. Exactly 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Davis able to gain control back to Krager. Krager looks inside, can't find anybody now. Faverty breaks up to the lane, doesn't get anything, however. Back to that baseline. 3-pointer on the way. No, rebound comes off strong to Abrahamson. He gives it over to Miller. Miller will bring it across the half-court line. Going to be a timeout. Looks like it's going to be a 30-second timeout by the Wrangell Wolves here. So they'll call it out here. Yeah, it is going to be a 30, so we're going to keep it right here. Well, a few more shots. Both teams in the 1-and-1 opportunity here now, as 18 fouls on the Glacier Bears, 17 fouls on the Wrangell Wolves right now. So that'll be an opportunity for both teams. Shooting percentages, Wrangell was Well, 7 for 10 in that third quarter at 70%. Glacier Bears were 3 for 11 at only 27%, but they've come alive here in this fourth quarter as they are 6 for 9. Davis getting most of those points. He's got 11 points, and I think, well, at least I'm sure 9 of them came in this quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, back out on the court. Both teams, 1:39 to go in the game. Wrangell leads by 3. Back to Miller. Miller takes the slow dribble across. Davis comes around, tries to make the steal, goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Glacier Bear basketball right here in front of the scorer's bench as Davis was able to knock it away and Miller wasn't able to touch it just as it went out of bounds, so the ball goes back to the Glacier Bears. Krager, he's caught with it at the top. Davis looks inside, finds Verham coming across, nothing going. Back Davis down the lane, stops, spins it back out. Faberty three-pointer on the way, and it's good. Faberty gets it, and that's his 12th point. Game is tied. 1:11 to go. Comes back, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by Krager as they try to double team Trevor Miller. 46-46, 1 minute, 8 seconds to go. Blatchley looking, still can't get the ball in. Goes in the top, gets it out to Loftus. Loftus comes across to Abramson, back to Blatchley. Oh, all alone is Hammer, and he's going to be fouled. Blatchley saw him, but it was a little bit too late. Hammer was all alone underneath the hoop and could have easily had the bucket, but Blatchley gets fouled on it. That's 5 fouls on Wesley Verham, and he's going to foul out of the basketball game. 1:02 to go. Riley Blatchley at the free throw line, 4 points in the ball game. Has not been to the free throw line yet tonight. Was 2 for 2 last night, so he's back at the free throw line here. Can give the Wolves the lead and does. So there's the first one going in. That's 5 points for him. Now back to Riley Blatchley again. This one's on its way, a little bit too strong. Rebound fought for, comes down the hands of Davis. Davis breaks down, goes to Faberty. Faberty comes in, puts it up. There's going to be a whistle on the play. 44 looks like it's going to be the foul. No, 34. So that's going to be on Miller. That'll be his second. So now that'll send Kirby Faberty to the free throw line. 12 points, hasn't been to the free throw line yet. Tonight gets 2. This one is good. So we're back to a tied ball game again. 13 points for Kirby Faberty. 47-47. 55 seconds to go. Faberty at the line, bounces it a couple of times. This one's on its way, looks good and is. So we're back to a lead. Glacier Bears lead. And long down court pass. Hathaway goes to Hammer. Stops, puts up the shot, bounces around. Back inside to Hammer. Check. Ball ends up in the hands of Davis. Glacier Bears lead by 1. They're going to pull it back out. Over to Carson Krager. He goes right hand side to Faberty. Faberty's on the dribble. Evans back out. Glacier Bears way out. Just running clock right now. Coming back out. Blatchley comes out. Wants to make the steal. Over to Davis. 20 seconds to go. Over to Faberty, and there's the foul. 23.3 seconds. Glacier Bears lead. 48-41. Fourth foul on Riley Blatchley. 1-and-1 opportunity. Faberty at the free throw line, 23.3 seconds. 2 for 2 last time. Make it another one from the free throw line. Glacier Bears now lead by 2, 49-47. Bounces it a couple more times. This one's up on its way. Going to be a little bit short. Rebound comes down to Hammer. Hammer gets it off to Miller. Miller comes across the half-court line. Spin move around. Got a timeout, and as they came up to double him, their coach Cody Angerman called a timeout. Pretty much probably saved the turnover there on Miller, so the ball's going to go to the Wrangell Wolves. It'll be right here, but I think that one, Cody probably saved the turnover on that one as Miller pretty much reversed his dribble around. Davis had put a lot of pressure. Krager came up hard to do the double team on it. Of course, that left wide open underneath Hammer, but of course Miller, there's no way he's going to see that. when he's been double teamed there and not able to get the ball down low like that. So Glacier Bears come out of the third timeout. Now the Wrangell Wolves come out of the timeout. 15.4 seconds to go in the basketball game. Wrangell's going to have the basketball right here in front of their bench. Looking to see what it's going to be. Ball comes outside, goes to Blatchley, comes around to Hammer. Hammer spins it around. All along was, and a foul up and in, and the basket's going to count by Abrahamson as they went inside. He got the bucket and drew the foul at the same time. Dixon's going to be whistled for the foul, and that's his first one. 49-47. I thought the basket counted, but
maybe the foul was a foul before the basket.
It must have been. Now the officials are talking it over here. The basket. Okay, now they're talking about, so the basket does count. All right, 49-49. That's what we thought. And so anyway, we're going to keep it here. There's a little bit of confusion as to whether the basket counted or not. So they had to make sure they got that one straightened out. And so that's going to send the Wrangell Wolves to the free throw line. And they've gotten 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 points from there so far tonight from the line. And we'll see if they can make another one here. Glacier Bears, of course, are going to have a little bit of time if they do here on the miss. 49-49. Wrangell comes out with a timeout first. And that'll send Abrahamson to the free throw line. Brett's been there. He has 12 points in the ball game. He's going to get one shot as the bucket counts. And now we're back out. There's 10.4 seconds. I thought it was right around 10 seconds. I wasn't quite sure, but Glacier Bears on this miss have plenty of time to get a bucket out of it. Of course, the Wrangell Wolves want to make this one to put some pressure on the Glacier Bears. And he's at the free throw line, bounces it a couple of times. Shots up on its way, looks good and is. So he picks it up, and that's his 13th point. Davis comes hard down the line, 8 seconds. Back to Davis, over to Faberty, stop, down about 6. A little bit short, rebound comes back down. There's going to be a whistle on it with 1.9 seconds. Fouls on Davis, number 11. And that'll be his third personal foul off of that miss. When they came down, looks like the Glacier Bears going to be a tough one here. That'll send Miller to the free throw line. He's going to get 2 shots with 1.9 seconds to go in the basketball game here. They'll bounce it a couple of times. This one's on its way. Looks good news. So Trevor Miller picks up his 7th point. That coming from the free throw line. 49-51 is the score. Trevor back at the line for a second one. This one's on its way. This one is also good. Now Glacier Bears are going to have to inbound the basketball. They do. Turns the ball back over, and now there's a whistle again as Trevor made that one for 8. Stepping in front. Nice play that time by Trevor Miller. He anticipated they were going to make that pass, and they did. And he stepped right in front and made the steal. So that's pretty much going to assure the Glacier Bears going down to defeat the Wrangell Wolves here. Unless they make a major mistake here, is going to win this. Miller's shot is good. So he picks up another one, and now his 9th point, and he can definitely seal it here. Bounces it a couple of times. On its way, looks good and is. So he's got it, and he's definitely going to seal it for the Wrangell Wolves now. Long down court pass. So we're going to finish this score with the Wrangell Wolves coming away with 50.